Hey guys, good morning. Tommy here. If you are joining me for the first time on this channel, I welcome you. If you are a returning subscriber, I thank you for your continued support. Today, we're going to continue on the coil pack relocation project. This will be part 2. Part 1 will be over here somewhere on the right hand side. So that's what we're going to do today. Let me flip the camera around. You get to see the Blazer project here, and we will start right now. Over on the bench, I have assembled the old wiring setup, which is connected to the stock steel bracket, and I have made the coil pack permanent. All the coil packs mounted onto the ICT brackets, and I also made up a cardboard cover, which I'm going to make out of aluminum eventually, and I'll just go up over the top like that and hide that completely inside the car, leaving room on both sides for the wiring and the spark plug wires. Alright, so let's start by taking this guy apart, because I got to separate. I've already numbered them just to keep them in some order. I need to shorten this bracket and also to separate this. So let's get this off of here. Okay. He's got little tabs on his plastic housing. This is the first time doing this, so I won't bore you with taking this apart, so hold on. Now that I have separated the wiring from that plastic cover that was connected to the original steel bracket, I need to shorten this so that it clips onto these coils a little bit better. I guess I got to undo all of this tape, and we'll make this shorter than it is, but we're going to come back to that. Okay, I've taken the wiring harness that was on top of the bracket and these plastic housings. I have taken this apart and removed all of the tape from it, and the tape was a pain in the butt to get off. This was all brittle from heat. Look at this. You know what, it just breaks apart into small pieces that was hard to remove. You know, this engine only has 60,000 miles on it, and this harness, to have that tape in 60,000 miles be so brittle, I mean, what kind of protection were you getting? Okay, that's my rant for the day. I'm going to try to condense this into a smaller package, and I will bring that back to you. Now that I have condensed this wiring harness down, and don't forget there was this long one that was connected to all of these brackets, these plastic brackets and whatnot, and so I've lengthened a couple of wires underneath and shortened a couple other ones underneath and made it into a small package so they can fit inside the fender. Now the next thing I got to deal with is running my figuring out where I'm going to run my extension harness. Now the extension harness goes from the original location on the top of the valve cover. This guy goes in here. This guy goes in here like this, and then it runs somewhere until I get to the top of the valve cover. and we'll get to that next. Alright, back over on the engine compartment here. This is the tail end of that wire that comes from the original coil pack location here over here on the valve cover. So that connects this wire basically to this wire here. So we're gonna go right here. This connection here, I'm gonna probably zip tie that to the original harness. It runs under the brake booster here behind the junction block location here, and then over to here. So let me go get the coil pack and we'll try to fit that in there. Okay. This is my coil pack assembly, which I made previously on the workbench. Let me just let that sit there for now. And let me take these nuts off of here. Alrighty. Now we're going to stick this guy in here. Previously made harness location over here in the inner fender. I made this bracket. Okay. I think that's going to fit good. Now don't forget, we're going to make a bracket, or not a bracket, but an aluminum cover to go over the top of this here. I may have a clearance problem down at the bottom there, but we'll work around that. Next thing to do is to make spark plug wires, and that's what I'm going to do next. Alrighty, we moved over to the bench again. This is one of the original spark plug wires. I took it off as maybe I will use these boots, maybe not, I don't know. But what I've done is already connected a spark plug boot on this end, so that you can see that the angle I'm coming off the spark plug is, I don't know, 110 degrees or whatever this thing is supposed to be for. And I've already crimped this end, and now I'm moving over to the coil end, and we use these special whatchamacallit, crimps, which I can't find right now. Alright, I found them. And the first thing you gotta do is cut away the casing on the outside, the insulation, and just leave the conductor in the center. Now these snips are made by iWis, made specifically for 8 to 8.5 inch, 8 to 8 millimeter, 8.5 millimeter wire. And we're going to cut off about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch. This here, give it a little twist, and it cuts it off cleanly, leaving just a conductor. Alright, now that part, the first thing I gotta do, and I should have did this first. Alrighty. I'm going to get some WD-40, which I should have handy. WD-40, and I'm going to spray some in this boot. to make sliding this thing on a lot easier. So we gotta do this here. Slide this boot on. Now I like to put all of this here on ahead of time. Now I've only done this once before, and I do remember it being a bit of a pain. And we gotta grip a hold of this thing. That is a tight fit. I'm going to put some silicone grease on this guy here, just so that it slips on a little easier. All right, now that's out the other end. I'll wipe this boot off real good, as well as this end, because the conductor is going to go on in the actual There you go, here. Now the difference is this here terminal end is for a spark plug, and this one is for the coil. You see that it's much smaller than that one. So since we're working on the coil, that's what's going to go on next. Now when this gets bent back like that, but not tightly, nice gentle arc on the end. And then this gets put in to the back of that, like that. Alright. What I like to do is give this a little bit of a crimp. With the needle nose pliers ahead of time. Alright, and once that is on there like that, this goes into this crimper, which has the notch made out specifically for this part here. That's going to go in there like that. This goes in the center like this. I think we're ready to crimp. There we go. And this is a ratcheting crimper. There you go. So we got ourselves a crimp. Now I should really test this on a coil to make sure that this fits on here properly before I go and okay. I'll bring the coil over here and we'll test fit that thing in here. Perfect. Perfect. Alrighty. So that's that. Repeat, 16 more times. And then we'll be, well, 8 more times on this end. All right, that's it. New day here. We're going to work on the passenger side today. The driver's side has been completed. I made some changes, which I'll talk about when I get to actually doing the spark plug wires on the passenger side, which is this one right here. So we got to remove this plastic thing with the wiring harness in front of it here, and then discard this bracket, which we're not going to use anymore. The coils will go into the ICT bracket, just like on the driver's side. We're going to undo all this plastic crap over here and take this wiring harness out of here, and take this brittle crap off of here, just like on the other side. And when I bring you back, I'll have that all completed. All right, here is the modified and shortened wiring harness that goes that plugs into the engine harness on the valve cover. I need to run the extension, which is this guy right here, and that will probably be my next step. But I want to test fit it on the engine. I can bring this over with me too. This goes in here like that. Okay. I'm going to bring this whole kit and caboodle over to the car and bring you with me. All right. There is where it's going to go. So let me try to do this one-handed. Oops. All right. It's on the bracket that I have previously assembled and made a long time ago, but I'm going to have to put you on a stand again. Okay, with my hands free now, I can put this guy where it needs to go. We're probably going to go down as low as we can with this so that it disappears. Kind of like this, but it's too long. Okay, I've run the harness extension wire from the coil pack location over here down as low as I can get it and tucked in next to the AC box, and then I ran it really low behind a bracket, a heat shield that I had built when I put the engine in, and that in turn comes up behind the AC box, right behind the valve cover where it plugs into that white connector right there. So we are clear on top of the valve cover here. Gee, I gotta dust those things. Next is the spark plug wires. That back one, number 8, I'm not looking forward to that. I got the spark plug wires out, the old ones, little shorties, and like I said, number 8 was a pain in the butt. As you can see from this heat shield, this is where it was actually touching the header, and it protected the wire. It did a good job. actually bleaches out, the heat bleaches out the blue, which that they use for dye. All right, the next step is to get these boots off of here, which I'm going to reuse. What I found out on the other side is that the ones that I bought, these here, they were too small, and they wouldn't go on the spark plug good, and I already made up 3 of them, so that was a problem. So we it's only me here, so I decided to take all 3 of those wires out and redo them with the old boots. New terminals, but old boots. And I'm going to get these off of here, these old boots, and they're hard to get off, so we'll come back to that. This is my first wire on the passenger side that I'm going to be doing. This is the old boot, new terminal, and it's going on the spark plug end. Let me smear a little lube on this wire because this one takes a lot of effort to get it on. So I'm also going to squirt some WD-40 in here. Alrighty. And it's coming out the other end. Alright, clean this off a little. Alright, now the end. Okay, let's trim this back. Now, as I said previously, I usually cut off about 3/4 of an inch. Like so. And off that goes. Now we're going to bend this guy back. Put the terminal. This goes on the bottom toward the back end of the terminal end. This is getting difficult here. Doesn't help that the wire's all slippery. Gee, I wonder who lubed it. Yeah, you're watching me struggle with this. Alright, now that I got this thing on, we are going to crimp it. Gotta get this guy in here. Just right. Alrighty. Perfect crimp. Perfect crimp. You can see it right there. Alrighty. Now I gotta suck that thing back inside, leaving 3/4 of an inch from the end. Yep, that's it. Alrighty, now that is the spark plug end. Now we got to do the coil end. We got our boot, And we've got our connector. So let's do the process again. This is a little easier to get in, so I can just use WD-40 here rather than smear a load of that silicone grease on. Okay, same thing. Who's listening? How much do you strip off? 3/4 of an inch. Alright, we fold her under onto the terminal side. I'm going to try something different this time. I'm going to put this thing in the jaws already. And if that makes any sense to you, then congratulations. No, it don't. It don't make any sense because I forgot to pre-bend it. Alright, back again. How many of you out there were saying you forgot to pre-bend it? Alrighty, back to the same spot here. This goes in. And we're gonna crimp and see. Alrighty. That was a good one. That was a good one. Pull this back in till it's flush with the end. There you go. Ready to go on the car. Move on to number 2. Well, they're all in. All the spark plug wires are connected. And the coil packs are in. They're moved off to the side. The only thing left to do is to make the covers for them, but that'll be a project for another day because currently I'm pooped. On this side, the spark plug wires run right next to the AC box, and then over to this coil pack over here. Coil packs, plural. And yeah, I'm gonna make a cover for that, probably maybe extend it down to cover the ECU here. I don't know. We'll see when I get to that. All that's left to do right now is to start it. Make sure it runs. So that concludes a coil pack relocation video. Thank you for joining me in this quest to clear out the electronics from the top of my engine. There are more things to come eventually, so especially the intake situation. I want to get rid of the plastic intake and put a cast aluminum intake on there. And that's it from here. This is Tommy signing off. Again, thank you for joining me, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and like and comment on all of these videos. Thank you.